Arthur Ashe, the inspiring journey of a tennis legend and humanitarian. Arthur Ashe's life is a tale of perseverance, courage, and a deep commitment to making the world a better place. His journey from a young boy to a global icon of tennis and social change is not only inspiring but also deeply humane. In this video, we explore Ashe's life and moments that highlight his character, struggles, and triumphs. If you have still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. You will get updates on new videos. Arthur Robert Ashe Jr. was born on July 10, 1943, in Richmond, Virginia, a city deeply divided by racial segregation. His parents, Arthur Ashe Sr. and Mattie Cordell Cunningham Ashe, raised Arthur and his younger brother, Johnny, in a modest home. Arthur Sr. worked as the caretaker of Brookfield Park, a segregated recreational facility that had tennis courts. Arthur's mother passed away from surgery complications in 1949, leaving his father to raise the boys alone. Despite this, Arthur grew up in a nurturing environment where discipline, education, and respect were emphasized. Arthur was fascinated with tennis since his early childhood. He would spend hours watching players at Brookfield Park, mimicking their movements with an old racket his father gave him. His interest caught the attention of local coach Ron Charity, who invited Arthur to play formally, setting the stage for his future. Arthur began training with Ron Charity, who quickly realized his exceptional talent and introduced him to Dr. Robert Walter Johnson in Lynchburg, Virginia. Dr. Johnson was a trailblazer in mentoring African American tennis players. Under Dr. Johnson's guidance, Arthur's game flourished. The mentorship went beyond tennis. Dr. Johnson prepared Arthur for the racial discrimination he would face on and off the court. For instance, Arthur once recounted how Dr. Johnson made him practice impeccable sportsmanship, even when opponents made blatantly unfair calls. "Don't give them an excuse to label you," Dr. Johnson would say. Arthur's first major milestone came in 1960 when he became the first African American to win the National Junior Indoor Tennis Championship. This victory marked him as a prodigy in the making. However, his success was not without its challenges. If you have still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. You will get updates on new videos. One such challenge occurred during a tournament in the South, where Arthur was refused entry into the clubhouse because of his race. He later described how this motivated him. "I couldn't change their minds, but I could make them see my talent." Arthur's achievements earned him a scholarship to UCLA in 1963, where he excelled both academically and athletically. That same year, he became the first African American player selected for the U.S. Davis Cup team, a groundbreaking moment in tennis history. Arthur's rise to international fame began in 1968 when he won the inaugural U.S. Open. As the first black man to claim the title, Arthur became a symbol of hope during the civil rights movement. His Wimbledon victory in 1975 remains legendary. Facing Jimmy Connors, the younger and more aggressive player, Arthur devised a brilliant strategy, employing finesse and patience to outwit his opponent. The match became a defining moment in his career and a testament to his intelligence and adaptability. After the match, when asked how he managed to stay calm under pressure, Arthur smiled and said, "I knew I couldn't beat him at his game, so I made him play mine." In 1976, Arthur attended a benefit event for the United Negro College Fund, where he met Gene Mutusami, a talented photographer and artist. Their connection was immediate, built on shared values and mutual respect. Arthur and Gene married on February 20, 1977, in a ceremony that reflected their understated elegance. In 1986, the couple welcomed their daughter, Camera Ashe, named after Gene's love for photography. Despite his demanding schedule, Arthur prioritized his family. He once remarked, Tennis may have been my profession, but being a husband and father is my greatest joy. In 1979, Arthur suffered a heart attack, marking the beginning of his health struggles. He retired from professional tennis in 1980 after undergoing bypass surgery. Over the next decade, he faced additional surgeries, including one in 1983 that would change his life forever. During this procedure, Arthur received a blood transfusion contaminated with HIV. He discovered his diagnosis in 1988, but kept it private until 1992 when a media outlet threatened to expose his condition. Choosing to address the situation publicly, Arthur held a press conference and announced his diagnosis. His courage in facing the stigma of HIV/AIDS was groundbreaking. "I don't want pity," he said. "I want understanding." Arthur Ashe transformed his personal situation into a platform for advocacy. He founded the Arthur Ashe Foundation for the Defeat of AIDS, focusing on education, treatment, and reducing the stigma around the disease. Arthur also used his influence to address broader social issues. He was a vocal critic of apartheid in South Africa and once joined a protest outside the South African embassy, leading to his arrest. When asked why he risked arrest, Arthur replied, "If I don't stand up, who will?" If you have still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. You will get updates on new videos. Arthur's life journey is filled with inspiration and incidents that teach memorable life lessons. During a match in his junior career, Arthur's opponent deliberately delayed the game to unsettle him. Instead of reacting, Arthur remained composed, winning the match with poise. Reflecting on the incident, he said, "If I lost my temper, I would have lost the match. My dignity is worth more than that." Arthur often conducted free tennis clinics for underprivileged youth, emphasizing life skills as much as tennis. At one clinic, a young boy asked him if being rich made him happy. Arthur replied, "Happiness comes from being proud of who you are, not what you have." While battling his illness, Ashe received numerous letters from fans and well-wishers asking, "Why did God have to select you for such a dreadful disease?" His response was profoundly moving. Around the world, nearly 50 million children have started playing tennis. Out of these, only 500,000 learn to play tennis. 50,000 of these play in the circuit and only 5,000 reach one of the Grand Slams. Only 50 reach Wimbledon and only 2 play in the final. "When I was holding the cup in my hand, I never asked God, why me?" Arthur Ashe passed away on February 6, 1993, from AIDS-related pneumonia. His death was a global loss, mourned by millions who admired his grace, humility, and determination. Arthur's legacy lives on through numerous honors. The Arthur Ashe Stadium at the US Open, named in 1997, is a lasting tribute to his contributions to tennis and society. His autobiography, Days of Grace, offers a candid glimpse into his philosophies and struggles. Arthur Ashe's journey from a segregated tennis court in Richmond to the global stage is a story of resilience, brilliance, and compassion. His achievements in tennis were monumental, but his true legacy lies in his courage to fight against racism, champion social justice, and advocate for HIV/AIDS awareness. Arthur once said, "True heroism is not the urge to surpass all others at whatever cost, but the urge to serve others at whatever cost." This philosophy guided his life and continues to inspire generations to strive for greatness while uplifting others. Did you enjoy this story? If so, subscribe to my channel for more fascinating tales of legends, ideas and everyday innovations that changed the world.